We're back. You're gonna try and master Star Fox on Ultimate? Sweet. So I like King Dedede, Donkey Kong. Also like just a couple other few ones, but I like my heavy hitters. There's something about it, and with King Dedede, definitely with King Dedede, he's a little bit more technical than Donkey Kong, so you can actually do some zoning, which is pretty cool with King Dedede. You can almost be a troll with King Dedede, and I kind of like it. All right, so if anyone was watching last stream and all that, there was an epidemic happening at Mother Base. And between last stream and this stream, I had to do a few things because if I didn't continue, by the time we got back to the stream, my base would pretty much be dead. Like, no more soldiers, and that's a bad thing. So I had to continue the story off stream. So there's a couple things that you guys are missing informational wise, but I do have some cassette tapes that we can play while we're managing some things to catch you guys back up of what has been happening. So there you guys go. It'll be a challenge. I was about to say, like, for some reason, I don't know why, but I just feel so comfortable with Donkey Kong and Dedede. This is so good. Just really good characters. Also like Captain Falcon, and I also like Belmont. Trying to remember which one though. I think both of the Belmonts are good though. I just like that chain whip. Has some reach to it. You can easily predict it though, but if you catch someone off guard and you hit someone with that chain, it's so good. That whip.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base. You've seen everything we've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation.
Yep, we got Code Talker.
Judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
So our Kikongo-speaking staff are at risk?
Quite so.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
So they can survive if they just use another language?
There is no guarantee. You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain. Other language strains may be present. You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world.
The Devil's House. Nzoya Badiabolu.
There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia?
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. You must cultivate more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of infection, but we did keep a few for study.
Good. Take this sample, grind it to a pulp, and introduce it to the larvae now nesting in the dead. The Wolbachia will multiply rapidly within those larvae.
They're soldiers, not some petri dish.
Conventional cultivation methods will take too long. Extract the Wolbachia from those larvae and vaccinate your men. Kikongo speakers first. This is the fastest, surest way. No one is to speak a word of Kikongo
Beast?
until the Wolbachia
What beast?
are safely inside them. I will instruct your medical staff in detail on site. You have the appropriate facilities.
Yes, but
Do not worry. I made a pact with your bit de Jolone on the honor of the Dene. I speak no lies.
keep an eye on him.
Will do. Follow me. I'll take you to the medical team.
Now, we must wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with
That's
saliva.
Saliva.
Parasite that
Droplet transmission.
infects the lungs and vocal cords.
Any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold.
Starts with vocal cords, and then it goes down to the actual lungs.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
Alright, so what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what
Toast
Black
bread,
Honor
sliced
wanted.
cheese, microwave
Something that
for
would
10
spread
minutes.
easily. In truth, he's not the reason. But we will discuss that another time.
I was about to say, Lara and I were lazy
The
today
Wolbachia
for
have
lunch.
multiplied.
Had some
We're
Angus
preparing to
sliders that were
extract them
frozen.
and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost?
You would rather remove their vocal cords?
No. Tactical communications is the
The
linchpin
heart.
of what we do.
It's frozen.
What if we were to ban the use of Kakongo?
Insufficient. First, there's no guarantee
Hello there.
that only the Kikongo strain is here. Second,
Welcome
there's
back.
a matter of how the parasites lay their eggs. Before they can copulate, they must be exposed to the pronunciation of a specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually
Did I change the
begins
name or something
varies
of my stream?
case to case.
Or my Twitch
In other
name?
words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may already be too late. The only true solution is to prevent copulation
Yep,
through
we
the
haven't really
Wolbachia,
changed anything.
or by physically removing the affected tissue.
Do any anti-parasitics work?
It sounds as though you have already tried.
Yeah. We tried every one there is, and nothing.
I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites. At best, it temporarily covers their ears,
Why is that?
because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably harms the host.
Companions?
More than you think. And this is why the human immune system cannot eliminate them.
We've inoculated the staff with Wolbachia to keep them from becoming symptomatic.
That should also contain the infection.
How did this happen in the first place?
It has to have been a Cypher spy within our ranks.
If this is so, then why the Kakongo strain? If their intent was to wipe you out,
Skullface said the remaining English parasite was close to the boss. If this latest strain was his doing, he wouldn't have tipped his hand.
it is possible someone brought eggs onto the base without knowing. Stuck to their shoes, clothing,
Well, that makes the most sense to me.
And where did the eggs come from?
You mentioned that your boss visited Nzoya Badiopulu.
Sure, but his gear's disinfected immediately upon return.
Then he was not the carrier.
And not just the boss. All staff dispatched to high-risk regions were quarantined on the flight back. When the symptoms first appeared, we checked and disinfected all equipment used up to that point. Any and all prisoners, soldiers, materials, and animals extracted during missions were also quarantined.
So, that just leaves...
I have seen children around here. Where are they from?
All over. Some were being held hostage at a mine. Then there were the troublemakers at Bwala Yamasa.
Bwala Yamasa.
Yeah.
Their clothes, their things. Did you burn them?
They're just kids. We couldn't. And besides, not one of them's shown symptoms.
The parasites don't infect prepubescent hosts. Their vocal cords are not fully developed.
Well, if infection doesn't occur in children...
It is possible they carried eggs on their clothes, and the infection spread from them.
Check the kid's stuff.
I doubt there is any trace left by now.
But if there is, some of those kids must be close to hitting puberty. How could we have missed this?
The name Bwala Yamasa got quite a reaction from you. I'm guessing the Kikongo strain was released in that village.
Cypher used that region to experiment with vocal cord parasite transmission. The Kikongo strain. The settlements around the refinery upstream of Bwala Yamasa were the proving grounds. They would infect one villager, then record transmission speed. Dangerous work. If they failed to contain the infection, it would slip into the surrounding regions.
At which point the world found out about the parasites, making them useless as a weapon. Incredible they'd risk such a thing.
The test site was densely populated too. A terrible place for such experiments. No doubt, they thought burning everything would wipe away all traces. The settlements were covered in oil anyway. Who would wonder if one day they caught fire? And so it did. They burned it all. Living and dead.
Those remains.
But they miscalculated. Transmission speed was far faster than anticipated. It may have been the temperature, or hygiene standards, or perhaps the parasites reacted quickly to Kikongo. Whatever the reason, nearly all villages were swiftly infected, and the settlements reduced to mounds of corpses. Making matters worse, the dry season was ending. When it came time to burn the village, the Moneni River had swelled. Many of the bodies were waterlogged.
Meaning they didn't burn completely.
The corpses still contained viable eggs, and the larvae washed downstream. And when the people downstream drank that water,
That marked the end for Bwala Yamasa.
I learned all of this at the mansion. I warned him of the risk of eggs getting out.
And?
We are prepared for any eventuality.
I get it. Putting the oil field back online. The oil leaks, saner. They plan to pollute the river. Prevent the spread of infection.
But the oil flow was stopped. And downstream, the people of Masa village started using the water again. The PF soldiers deployed at the village were locals, spoke Kikongo. They were infected, and the kids survived.
I've heard enough.
And who stopped the flow of oil?
Don't.
We did.
That confirms it. The source of the Kikongo strain infection was Masa village. And the children brought it here. It is no one's fault. There is no blame to be cast.
The parasites, they were tested in other regions?
Their physiology requires that they be tested under varied conditions. Another test site was in Afghanistan.
So it was the parasites there.
Both the Pashto and Tajik languages are spoken in the mountains of Afghanistan, and population density is low. Ideal testing grounds for how accurately the parasites target only the specified language. It is also relatively easy to prevent the spread of infection.
And the results?
The first test, I am told, was a success. Once the Pashtun Mujahideen were infected with the Pashto strain, they were all but wiped out.
The Hamid fighters at Smasei Fort.
It was doubly successful. No Tajik Mujahideen or Soviet soldiers became symptomatic.
So the parasites proved to be effective. What about the second test?
Also supposedly a success. A Pashtun village was the target. However, the original aim was to obtain samples of the infected. In this, they failed.
And the village?
The Soviets enacted a standard scorched earth operation.
That must have been the village where Malak lived, before being held captive at La Marjate Palace.
Having had more time to think on it, the details shared with me may have been false. They are madmen who would do anything to cover up the truth.
They certainly seem to like tossing their problems in the fire.
As a boy, Skullface's life went up in flames. Perhaps that is what fuels his fixation with fire.
Your Wolbachia stopped the infection all right, but I still don't get it. How can a few bacteria change males to females? I know they're only bugs, but...
It is not such a rare thing in the natural world. Many insects and nematodes are infected with Wolbachia.
But why?
They nest in the cell cytoplasm of the host, even in the egg cells, with the result that the offspring are born infected.
Mother-to-child transmission.
However, Wolbachia cannot nest in sperm because they do not have cytoplasm. So even a successful infection of a male ends after a single generation. This means the Wolbachia must resort to maximizing the population of infected females.
Sounds like an ethnic cleansing campaign on a tiny scale.
Gender change from male to female is their survival tactic.
So more females means more Wolbachia carriers, so it can keep thriving in the following generations.
But the parasites in a human host are supposed to be a mating pair. If there's no male, there'll be no offspring at all. It's killing itself.
Slow down. This tactic is intended for environments where a single male can copulate with multiple females. Originally, the Wolbachia did not infect the vocal cord parasites. I created a mutated strain, modifying the Wolbachia so that it could infect monogamous pairs. The Wolbachia's greatest multiplying tactic, the male-to-female change, worked against itself in the monogamous parasites. Just as you said. Then, I performed repeated selection of Wolbachia strains until I achieved 100% certainty of male-to-female conversion.
Creating female-female pairs, unable to reproduce.
And you say the Wolbachia affects the host of the host, that is, us, cutting off our means to reproduce?
It is almost certain. Of course, we will not turn female. After all, mammals possess no natural gender-changing function. But some Wolbachia strains can cause cytoplasmic incompatibility in the host.
Is that some cell deformity?
Put simply, it means the altered sperm of infected males kill the female's egg on contact.
And that's happened to us?
Yes. And yet, what occurs in humans is not just simple CI. To date, there are no cases of Wolbachia affecting humans. The fact that this strain causes this effect, is it the vocal cord parasite's affinity with humans? I do not know enough to say for sure.
So the parasite warps the host. Reminds me of what Skullface said.
It is the way of all organisms to create their own optimal environment. Just look at you and this base. Organisms that cannot do this are doomed to extinction. The difference with parasites is that their environment is another organism. That creates a connection between life and life. Parasitism, symbiosis, or death. In this way, the host too is challenged to adapt.
Love Code Talker's audio logs. They're just really nice to listen to, man. Alright, so we're gonna listen to the rest of them while we're doing some missions. So, why not? Booty!
Please select a landing zone.
Let's see, what's a good entry point? So,
Heading to Afghanistan. Deploying.
deploying. Oh. And we'll continue the audio logs while we're on the missions. That way we can kind of get a few things done out of the way while catching up on story and information. That's the best way to do it. Trying to remember if I'm gonna have to move my webcam. I'll have to wait until the HUD pops back up. Nope. Dun, dun, dun. Whee!
Be careful down there, boss.
Alright. This is our target. We're trying to get the blueprints.
Marker placed.
Alright.
Please select a deployment point.
Dun, 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 dun. Alright,
About this
we'll listen to
OKB
this.
Zero Emmerich was talking about. Its location and features match the citadel in the mountains northeast of the Soviet base camp. Built during the time of Alexander the Great, it was left in ruins following one of Genghis Khan's campaigns. Its occupants changed time and again due to war, and it was expanded on more than one occasion. Ultimately, it fell into the hands of the Soviet philosophers. The Soviet army was using it as the headquarters of its Afghan invasion force. But it would seem that Skullface's connection with the philosophers gave him license to develop Sahelanthropus there. And that's what Emmerich was doing at the place, before he got the axe. But OKB is a designation the Soviets use for weapon design bureaus. There's no way they'd have one of those in Afghanistan.
Analysis complete.
And in principle, the numbers that follow OKB are always integers above 1. There is no 0. Perhaps this was a secret facility of the Soviet and Chinese philosophers dating back prior to World War II. Though it's more likely Skullface just picked a fake name that more or less fit the Soviets' pattern. He doesn't go there often, but he sure as hell won't miss this. They use the heliport on top of the tower for his visits. Start by heading for the heliport. Then wait for your chance to make contact with Skullface.
Ooh.
It seems Sahelanthropus's armor is made from depleted uranium. That offers some serious protection. The U.S. military is planning on using it for its main battle tanks, too. Maybe that's where Emmerich got the technology.
Uranium? They're using nuclear fuel for armor now?
No. What they use for nuclear fuel is uranium-235, which is extracted from natural uranium. Depleted uranium is a byproduct of that process. Sort of like the leftovers, I guess. The garbage. Uranium-235 makes up 0.72% of natural uranium, whereas depleted uranium contains only 0.2%.
What are the benefits of using it for armor?
It's a pretty short list. Uranium's a heavy metal, like lead, meaning it can hold a greater amount of kinetic energy. But it also boasts a hardness closer to tungsten. That makes it an ideal material to use for, say, armor-piercing ammunition penetrators. But it's not the best choice for armor. Its volume is less than that of ceramics, but for an equal weight, you could end up with less protection.
So why use it then?
According to Emmerich, it came down to him being unable to source ceramics technology from a manufacturer. Plus, given that it's an upright walking vehicle, he wanted to reduce the bulk of certain areas. Despite all that, depleted uranium still makes for some tough armor, and Emmerich says it's been proven in live fire tests. It stops most Soviet tank shells.
Alright, we'll continue the next one once we're safe. There we go. See if there's anything in here. Oh. Ammo depot. Nope. In there. It's like I pretty much got everything placed in those facilities. Wow. It's all so dark over here. Nice. Thank you for the blueprint information.
The map has been updated.
There we go.
Analysis complete.
Waking up. Yeah.
Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis
Ooh,
complete.
really good soldier.
You gotta extract him.
Okay, where are those blueprints? Ah, surrounded by those people.
Marker placed. Marker removed.
Huh? Oop.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
He's
Okay.
coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him.
He got hit, so he's gonna fall asleep pretty soon. Got him in the hand or the cheek, one of them. Yeah. There goes.
Analysis complete.
Worth getting. Yeah.
He's coming too. Roger that. Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Shit, they saw me.
You have arrived at your destination.
Hi. Hi. Here's the blueprints.
Side ops list updated. Analysis complete. Extraction arrived at Metabase. Analysis complete.
Quiet, where are you? Well, they lost track of me. What a bunch of dum-dums. Stay alert. Ooh, lots of containers. Let's grab this. Oh, there's another container right in front of me. soldier, good soldier.
Analysis complete.
Yeah. I'll take you all.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
They're all coming. They're all coming. There we go. Doop 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 doop. Now you guys can't see shit.
Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
Of course. What? He actually sees me. Get him. Or I'll get him. Depends on use. Yeah. That's the reason why she didn't shoot.
Analysis complete.
Ah.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
So yeah, might as well blow up this last power supply. That way they're just in the dark the whole time. Whole base. Almost the whole base. Dark. Okay. We need a pickup.
Please weather will land support helicopter requested.
Yeah. That was a success. A success? With the walking away. Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
Extraction
Are those wolves?
arrived at Metabase. Support helicopter has arrived.
I don't think I extracted any wolves yet, other than D-Dog. Hey, last two Fulton packs. Having fun! Take on me!
Caution.
Do.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Raver. Alright. Let's push through. Got some rewards. KIA. Stop dying on me. Stop
Development
dying!
Project has been added.
It's alright. One person dies. We get a bunch of other people though. So we're kind of just balancing it out. Slowly but surely. Come on.
Please select a mission.
Alright, time to hit them again.
Clouds approaching. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
Sweet. Alright. Keep pushing through those side missions. Got that one, that one. Prisoner extraction.
Please select a landing zone. Deploying.
We're dropping frames. Going on. The weather has been like really bad lately, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's the weather. Dropped 800 frames in the last minute? Heck. Oh, we're dropping even more. Uh-oh. Fucking stream today. Oh! Constantly dropping frames. What's going on? Or my internet's just like really bad today. Yeah, if it keeps dropping frames, I'll just end the stream for today. Maybe come back tonight, just depends. So far, staying. I don't think we have to worry about it too much. Because the sucky thing is, people that watch the VODs see that as well. It's like, oh! I see drop frames too, and I'm not even watching this live.
Please select a deployment point.
Go, go. Oh yeah, audio logs. Forgot about that. We still got 3 more to listen to. Which I think is on, Metallic Archaea.
Code Talker. What are the metallic archaea?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur.
Has infiltrated Alpha.
Water
Has been
hot
updated.
enough to boil your skin off.
Enemy presence
Ocean depths
map has
of
been updated.
800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand.
My God.
Enemy presence
There are groups of organisms that survive despite. No. Because of living in such environments.
I've heard about that.
There he is.
Extremo something.
Extremophiles.
Analysis
By
complete.
selecting certain
Analysis
species,
complete.
then subculturing and
Analysis
repeatedly
complete.
modifying them. I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea.
The map has
They
been updated.
subsist on metals
Analysis complete.
rather than organic matter.
Analysis
And some of them
complete.
even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium. How is that possible? Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
So it was archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
Guard post
We had the
captured.
R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract archaea from it in good time. They should help you fight back against Blagana.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for it.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
Here's some music.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its armed expansionism. You gotta extract him. Angola and Mozambique became socialist countries in '74. South Africa felt hounded into a corner, so it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself. 3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility. And 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern... He's coming too. Roger that. Said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test
Damn
with the help
straight
of
he's
a certain
coming.
ally. Skullface used the situation in South Africa to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons.
Okay, subject is in.
In '74, the government was still able to get by with bluffing that it had a nuclear arsenal. But the year after, word spread that an independent...
You gotta extract him.
Caribbean was crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, boss. What happened to you and your men was the reason South Africa decided to push ahead with nuclear development.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Any country getting its hands on a nuke. That was a threat to the existence of countries everywhere.
Sweet.
It wasn't just South Africa. Your presence pushed a lot of countries to get nukes. The world was scared of you. You were a threat to more than just the Cold War. If nations are gears in a machine, you had the power to smash them loose and watch the whole world grind to a halt.
Some new developments. Anything. See if we can develop another platform. That'll be okay.
Commencing platform construction.
Maybe. Let's see what else we can develop.
Please specify a project.
Pistol underworlds. Gotta find it. Ah, there it is.
Please specify a project.
Right. Oh yeah, something from my troops. Update the list. And
Please specify a project.
last few things I can work on. Man, that's gonna take a long time. Oh, my dudes can use Killer Bee? Might have to use that. How much is that? Shouldn't put me in the red. Getting close to being put in the red, but didn't put me in the red. That's all that matters. Okay. Might have to get a pickup.
Please support helicopter requested. Mother base.
Now
is
we're in the
now
red.
In the red.
It's like we're almost caught up with our cassette tapes.
Extraction arrived at the mother base.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Do.
Departing.
Yeah, I think now we just need to start making more money. So we're in the
Psyops
red.
list
Boss,
updated.
our GMP is now in the
I
red.
know.
If it stays this way, staff morale will fall and the men will start leaving Diamond Dogs. You've got to bring in more funds and keep costs down.
Will do, Capitan. This might be a good one. So I can do that, then I can go over here, down, and then hit that. Or, I don't know. Well, technically all of Africa, so. Yeah, I guess we could hit up Africa. Start with the mother base, dude.
Please select a landing zone.
Can't land there.
Heading to Central Africa. Deploying.
ASAP. Right. See what we're doing. Let's see if we can just clean up all of Africa while we're doing this. Hopefully I have enough. I can always just issue supplies. I know, stop reminding. Don't get too close to that base. Okay, let's get those cassette tapes rolling. Yep. What? Oh, I have the music one. So I technically only have one more. And then last bit of metallic archaea.
Emmerich uses externally powered legs of his own design. It's bionics technology, a product of the U.S. military's failed attempt to develop a powered exoskeleton. All the wearer has to do is apply a little force, and the actuators continue the movement in that direction. But his legs are unique. Instead of using a hydraulic mechanism, the actuators run off metallic archaea. That increases the actuator's reaction speed and also enables him to lock and release the joints at will. The legs are a nifty little gadget, but they have two clear weaknesses. First, they're dependent on external power, maybe because he built them knowing he couldn't leave his lab. There's no internal battery. That's why they won't work if they aren't plugged in. Second, and this is more than just a weakness, the legs are directly connected to his bones. Could be to minimize signal loss and the order's output to the legs and the drive response from them. Either way, Emmerich has used
this is the mine,
to attach
yeah.
load-bearing parts directly to his femurs, probably by mimicking surgical treatment for compound fractures and the like. But the end result is those legs and his body are fused together, and that appears to be how he's able to move them so precisely. But that also means that any shock to the legs would be delivered right to his bones by way of those bolts. The same is true if he encounters the corrosive metallic archaea. If the corrosive archaea ate into the exposed bolts, they'd reach the endoskeleton parts and eat through them too in the blink of an eye. The doctor's bones are full of holes to accommodate all the bolts. They're like sponges. If he were to lose the reinforcing parts, even the tiniest bit of force or weight would snap his bones. So when I dangled those corrosive metallic archaea in front of him, he realized straight away what would happen. Life wouldn't be worth living if he lost those legs of his. I'd bet that is what the doctor fears the most. I just helped him imagine what it would be like. Thanks to that, I got the information we needed without either of us getting hurt.
Gun foggy.
You know how he is. He's probably
Slightly.
already over the shock. The better you know your adversary, the easier it is for you to get information from them. And vice versa.
Enemy presence detected.
Should
The
probably
map has been updated.
wait to see how this unfolds. Truck just got outside over there.
Analysis complete.
Wow, does that guy not see the... Oh, now he sees him.
Hey,
He has a shield too.